Hi, my name is Eliza and today I'm going to give you my tips for Adventure Mode. Adventure Mode is only available in single player Don't Starve. To enter, you will need to start a normal game and then find Maxwell's door. It can spawn anywhere on the map, but be sure to keep an eye out for evergreens and evil flowers, as these will always accompany the door. I've also had plenty of luck finding it in evergreen forests. Once activated, it will ask if you're sure about your decision, and if you are, you will be taken to a new map, the first of 6, with nothing but your character's special items and full stats. Each world or chapter is a little bit different and delivers its own challenges. There are 6 different chapters, and each time you will get a mostly random one. That's the King of Winter. That can be either the first, second, or third world, a cold reception, which can be the first 4, the game is afoot, also first 4, archipelago, appearing as one of the first 4 as well, 2 worlds, only the 3rd or 4th chapter, and darkness, which is always the 5th chapter. And the final chapter is always the epilogue. Checkmate. The name of your world will be shown before spawning. Each time your goal is to build a teleportato, by finding 4 things: the metal potato thing, the box thing, the ring thing, and the crank thing. They will be scattered around the world and you will need to assemble them on the wooden thing. A divining rod will always spawn nearby you, and when held is incredibly useful for finding the things. Your character will comment on the location of things by stating that a thing is either nowhere around, close, even closer, or very close by. The rod itself will emit either no light, white rings, yellow rings, or red rings correspondingly. This is not the only purpose, as the divining rod will be needed to activate the teleportato and escape. Now, it is always fun to explore these worlds and find solutions on your own, but if you have some worries or if you're stuck, here are my tips. First, get comfortable with exploring the map as soon as you spawn. If you've watched my guide for beginners, I recommend grabbing some basic resources for a torch and axe, pickaxe, and going for a run along the edge of the map immediately, even outside adventure mode. Especially for the first few days, you should be a nomad. Having the skill of gathering enough food and resources on the go will result in you finding the things very fast, and probably even having enough resources to escape altogether in just a few days. Similarly, the divining rod will pick up signals of most items from the edge of the map. Of course, if you've finished the contours and don't have the last piece, you should probably check the huge black hole in your map, or maybe a missed corridor. But most of the time, you can confidently trust the method of running along the edge. Next, learn to fight clockworks. This is a no-brainer, since these guys will always be guarding your exit, as well as some passages. If you can get the attention of the rook, use him as a bulldozer to kill off his friends, positioning yourself on the other side. If you can't do this, I recommend luring the knight away from the group, kiting or tanking him, and then when all the knights are dead, tanking the bishops. There's a lot of sanity bending, as I call it, going on in some maps. There will be 2 kinds of pillars obstructing your path, ones that let you through if you're insane, and the others that go down if you're sane. For this purpose, you will need items that affect your sanity significantly. Sanity is damaged by eating raw green and blue caps, as well as raw meat, digging up graves, spawning Abigail, and of course, all the plant destruction as wormwood. To gain sanity, it is best to pick flowers, eat jerky or cooked green and blue caps, as well as cooked cactus, kill nightmare creatures, eat gears as WX78, or plant with wormwood. I know I've said this before, but keep in mind that quick exploration is your top priority. Sure, you need to eat and keep warm, but the longer you wait, the worse your situation will be. The more food you'll have to consume, and etc. When traveling through the worlds, you will have an option to take up to 4 items with you, as well as any prefabricated structures. So for example, here I was playing Wickford, so I always took as much gold as I could, alongside my walking cane for speed, food, and a thermal stone. Supplying myself with these things saves a lot of time, so get a stack of your most valuable items when you can, and don't waste time with things you'll leave behind either way. If you're not familiar with prefabricating, it's the process of crafting a placeable object and then cancelling the placement. This will consume the resources, but the structure will then be left in your crafting tab, ready to be placed whenever. I use this to always have a campfire and fire pit on me, as well as a backup crockpot and science machine. Talking about warmth, Many probably know this, but there's a trick to always keeping warm with nothing but a thermal stone and a torch. And that trick is burning trees and running in and out of the fire. Even if the animation of you burning alive is a bit scary, there's a certain time that it has to pass for you to actually take damage. Some areas may not have trees, so make sure to heat up very well and charge your thermal stone before going into rocky and similar biomes. Specifically in the Two Worlds chapter, you will spawn on a very calm island. There will also be a one-way wormhole here that will lead you to another island filled with dangers and containing the teleportable pieces. This time I suggest taking it slow, prefabricating a lot of useful structures, and setting up a meat effigy. In this playthrough I even got the chance to craft amulets, and of course I did, and then ended up leaving one behind. I also made a bunch of meatballs and dried some jerky, made a pig farm, etc. Basically, this is where you play the game on easy mode, so take advantage. The 5th level on your journey will always be darkness. As the name suggests, it is always night here, so it's better to come prepared. In your 4th world, I suggest crafting a bug net and bringing that with you. This way you will be able to catch fireflies and craft a miner hat pretty soon. Having your hands free of the torch will let you use the divining rod and walking cane. And once you find all the pieces, you'll need to kill the clockworks. It will be best to choose a log suit here for armor. And I trust you will not need much guidance in the epilogue, so have fun and good luck.